Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of November 29th, 2014.
Gobble gobble.
Darky day. I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. With me, my engineers are Wiebold, TJ, and Milky. And our special guest today is the currently absent Ogeles. He'll be coming around in a minute.
Flake.
But in the meantime,
Joker.
The train will terminate at this station.
Gobble gobble.
Ho, 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 welcome to the snowy plains of St. Paul, Montana, where it's snowing at Union Depot.
Montana. This isn't Montana, it's Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You made the same mistake I did. Anyways,
curse you.
We're in Minnesota.
Minnesota, don't you know?
That's... Just get on with it.
That's Dakota.
I was on with it.
Go on.
It's your turn.
You didn't finish saying where we are. You just missaid the state.
We're in Minnesota. St. Paul, Minnesota, that is. On top of their Union Station, looking out over what appears to be a river, power lines, and a couple of freight trains with a heck of a lot of lights, and a light snow.
In the camera.
In the camera. If you'll notice, the snow is going outside of the bounds of the camera.
The snow is very fake.
It's a widget.
You're a widget.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Joke.
Just go in for like 10 seconds in the microwave?
No. Anyways. First things first, let's get on with our trackside tales. And I no doubt have the most this week. Because we have
Terminus presents Lakeshore Limited Saga Part 2.
If we were going to do that way, we should have started at Part 4.
We should have done a strike.
Don't do a strike, that was excellent, especially with the new Star Wars trailer released.
I actually haven't looked at that. I heard about it.
It doesn't make it look any better than it could if it was a different kind of trailer.
Yeah,
it doesn't show... It doesn't give the plot of the movie at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. It shows some neat effects and a couple of X-Wings buzzing a lake, which is really cool.
Frankly,
that's about it.
I think that's better than giving away important plot points, which some trailers have done.
They don't have to do that.
It'd be helpful to at least know what it's going to be about.
That's true.
Unless it's bad, it's just...
We have literally no clue about any characters or any points of anything.
They don't
unless it's just random visual effects to point out how good J.J. Abrams is.
And lens flares.
That's probably what half the movie is.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hey, JJ, move the lens flare. I can't see the rest of the action going on.
Nobody cares.
Lens flare.
Anyway.
The Lakeshore Limited Saga Part 2. Otherwise known as Lee's Big Adventure. Because I had the little engine that can't with me the whole time.
Whoa. The whole time.
He's still here. He's twist-tied to a piece of track. And that's... taped to a piece of wood, and that's how he travels, so that he doesn't get damaged.
In style.
In style. I look, Ogeles is back. Anyways, Lakeshore Limited Saga Part 2 meets Sudden Delays, Optimistic Conductors, Optimistic Computers, Pessimistic Conductors, Snow, Tree Sounds, All the Horns, and Lee's Big Adventure.
Wait. Have we started?
Yes.
No,
we had quite a thing. I had quite a thing going home for Thanksgiving. Of course, boarding the Lakeshore Limited half an hour late in Albany.
Oh, yeah.
And we pull out of Albany, and we drive for about 20 minutes, and then we stop. And then we stay there in the middle of the woods, and it's snowing, and you can watch the snow piling up in the woods, and we stop there for about an hour and a half.
And Amtrak wonders why their trains run late. They're allowing people just to stop in the middle of the woods and take a coffee break.
No.
Well, time for my union break.
I was trying to figure out why we'd stop.
I dropped my wallet in Albany. Here, let me go get it.
I remember being
walk back
on Skype with some of you during this, and you were like, "Oh, get a scanner on your phone and like hook into the CSX frequencies or something." I didn't end up doing that, but then I found out the reason we were late, or the reason we were getting later, is because the station ahead is Pittsfield, and as far as I know, it's only one platform.
Pitts.
Because it's in the middle of nowhere. And there was something occupying that platform. That something...
Like a person?
No. That something was the other Lakeshore Limited, coming the other way. Also an hour and a half late.
They don't have a runaround platform, or a passing siding anywhere between?
We were on the passing siding.
Oh.
So we
Makes
had
more sense now.
We had to wait for the train to stop at Pittsfield, and then go through, and so the other Lakeshore Limited blew by us. And then...
oh my god.
What?
Holy crap, that is a gigantic spider. Holy crap.
I was going to say, that's a gigantic snowflake.
That is huge, and it's on my bed. Holy crap. I'm terrified of spiders.
Anyways.
A napkin.
We went by...
Still going on hill climb. Hold on.
We went by plenty of trains after we got out of there. Of course, it was dark, but you could tell when
did it.
You could tell because there was the rumbling of the CSX engines as you drove by them. There was some
sound as they derailed and burst into flames.
No, there was some snow-covered maintenance of way equipment in this floodlight-lit yard, which was a very cool kind of scene with the snow coming down.
I killed it.
And then the optimistic computers and pessimistic conductors kind of got along very well, because the conductors were saying how far we were from a destination.
That was huge.
That's what she said. And the computers on my phone, were saying that we weren't quite that far, and it ended up being somewhere in between. Like, the conductor would say an hour, the computer would say half an hour, and we'd get there in about 45 minutes. So, backwoods in Massachusetts, there's a lot of railroad crossings, and the horn was blowing pretty much the whole time.
Well, it's Massachusetts. What do you expect?
What?
It's Massachusetts.
Pilgrims.
What?
Damn stupid pilgrims.
Certainly not modern trains.
Pilgrims building all them railroad crossings.
They're an Amish.
It is Massachusetts.
But, so there was probably more time with the horn blowing than there was time without the horn blowing. It was kind of incredible how often they were sounding off.
One, two.
Some other sounds that were encountered were low-hanging tree branches that were encumbered by snow scraping along the roof of the locomotive and rest of the train. It was, the first time you hear it, it was actually kind of terrifying, and then it's like, oh, it's just the branches.
Imagine if you started screaming, we derailed! We derailed!
It's not like Death Eaters or something.
You're like terrified that you're gonna die.
Wow.
Contact Conrail in emergency.
Use your
Call
words.
1-800-272-0911.
But yeah, and then on the way back, because I went out there and then I went on the way back, and on the way back I saw a MBTA maintenance away train out there on the tracks with a couple of F40s. What's funny is it had two F40s on it, but the F40s on the train, because they didn't do what you'd think they would do when they have two engines on the train. They didn't put one at one end and one at the other end facing the other direction. Because this is the MBTA we're talking about, and all the engines have to point south, they had an engine, their maintenance of way equipment, the second engine, and then a cab car. Right behind the engine.
Well, I don't think they have very good...
Why do all of their engines have to face south?
Because it's MBTA, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Anything. That's not a valid reason.
Well, that's the reason they have.
That is the reason.
I don't understand the East.
Damn Easterners running on the
South.
Running on that 2-foot gauge.
Oh, I'm confused.
And the southern facing engines.
Everything's going south.
Anyways.
Them 2-foot gauge and them south facing engines.
Confusing
them Easterners.
Them Hawassi Loop.
Hawassi Loop?
Them confusing maintenance away trains must have been a good omen, because the late Shore Limited became the early Shore Limited and made it into Albany half an hour ahead of schedule. I'm as surprised as you are.
Get in my room.
Did you happen to have a locomotive swap between an MBTA unit and a DeLorean?
No.
I don't
We
know.
did-
Did you
and we-
use Doc Brown's time traveling
We did
train?
not hit 88 miles an hour because you're not even allowed to go 80.
Did you go 78?
79, actually, to be
69.
exact.
21.
Shut up.
No,
So we'll keep on throwing
Just
numbers out
no.
here until we go back in time. I was behind some
For a
heritage
Union
unit.
Station, they don't get very many trains.
Well, this is the Empire Builder route.
Oh yeah, not the
They're just like the Late Shore Limited. They always run late.
Well, the Empire Builder
Actually,
has...
I think they run more late.
They
than the Late
do
Shore
run more
Limited.
late.
They have a valid reason.
The California Zephyr it goes through the same exact mountain ranges, and it's generally at
Good
least early or at most 10 minutes late. Well, 30 minutes, I make that. But
Yeah, and the Union Pacific goes on the same tracks that the Union Pacific did.
Good one.
gee. You don't say, why? You don't say.
No, I do say, I just did.
I think it's
I'm
just
gonna
about
shoot-
different... I think it's just about different railroads treating their passenger trains differently.
But Amtrak and California Zephyr are the same company.
The California Zephyr isn't a company, is it?
No.
No, they're the same company, I said.
No. I mean, yeah, but it's not running on Amtrak tracks, is my point. The Empire Builder and the California Zephyr run on tracks owned by different people.
Yeah.
They run on
As
BNSF
it-
and tracks.
and my point is, BNSF is...
Goodness
If we don't want to, paint BNSF as the bad guy over here, which you definitely could and say they're just treating Amtrak badly, but it's entirely possible that BNSF...
According to TVA Avenger, they treat everybody. Everybody treats Amtrak badly.
They do,
Union
Ew.
but
No one likes
apparently...
Amtrak.
Apparently, if what Ogeles is saying is correct, which I would take with a grain of salt, not because Ogeles is saying it, but because this is Amtrak we're talking about here.
Yeah, because
Um,
Julius is stupid. I'm just kidding.
But
And
it's true.
you could assume that you could take from that then that either the line is less busy or that Union Pacific prioritizes Amtrak better than BNSF does.
Mm.
But it
Well,
runs on BNSF line.
And it's one of the
Nope.
things. It's one of the things that I'm kind of. If they were
You struck.
exercising their power more, I'd be more glad that the government is behind this because they could literally just step in and be like, federal mandate that you have to get out of the way.
Yeah, but that's stupid because the tracks are not owned by Amtrak.
I know.
Well,
If
some
they're,
of
if they're really, if they're really like that, they honestly have no right to step in and say get out of the way because it's not their tracks.
They'd be like, whatever. They'd be like, this is my land now. We can do whatever we want.
This
I've
land
noticed
is your land. This land is
Well,
mine.
I never said it would be the right thing to
Unless
do.
you're
But if they wanted to
Amtrak.
force on time, they would have the power to
take
force the freight companies to yield.
Yield.
Soviet Russia, this happened.
In Soviet Russia,
Bureaucratic
yield.
America, it make no sense and too much sense. So it
In Ru-
failed
in-
twice.
In Mother Russia, yield sign you.
What?
Okay. If you sign yield, you would okay.
Yeah. Sign yield to you.
Yield sign you. It's like a nickname for Hugh. When he was young, he smashed into a yield sign. Now he's yield sign you.
That was bad.
That
That's
deserves a
even worse
strike.
than
No.
Does that
That's-
deserve a strike? I didn't make the joke.
Yeah, actually, TJ gets a strike.
No, it was just a bad word.
Hey, you were the
Yield
one
sign
that
you.
suggested I get a strike. Well, anyway.
No, I
Anyway.
didn't suggest I get a strike. It was Ogeles. He gets a strike.
No.
Oh, dear.
No, please, let
Because-
me live once.
But because
Stop
it's,
it, or I'll blow you all to smithereens with a tank train that I saw. I saw an entire train.
That was a horrible
TTX
segue.
Oh, shit.
I get into Boston an hour late, anyways. I just wanted to wrap that up and point that out.
Oh.
That was a horrible segue.
It got me there. No, it was actually pretty good. It got me there. It got me to Albany half an hour early, but it got me to
I
Boston
wasn't
an hour late.
expecting it.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, I was just, got there hour late
Woo.
on
Now,
Amtrak. Thanks, Obama.
now can I blow Amtrak to smithereens?
Well,
Oh.
let me just say, I got to
Okay.
Albany half an hour early, and I went, thanks, Obama.
Yay! Yeah, I think so.
It all depends on the tone
Well,
of
speaking
voice.
of the presidency, and you know what? I give up on the segue. I saw a train of tanks, literally probably about 150 or so armored vehicles from Abrams to Bradleys to other stuff that I couldn't identify. There were some open
Shields.
artillery pieces I couldn't identify.
To Ogeles.
And they were all going from Cheyenne to Fort Carson, which is like the largest artillery base in the U.S.
Where is
So,
Fort Carson?
Because
in
tanks are
Colorado
very
Springs.
tanks are very useful for fighting all those people we fight here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're gonna get there, and then they're gonna get on another train and go to Ferguson, Missouri. Wait, what? Never mind. TJ.
I have nothing.
I missed my Gerp.
Gerp gerp. What's gerp gerp?
I don't know, what is Gerb Gerb?
Well, I
I
was
have
in
nothing.
Denver for purposes that I'll talk about in a little bit later.
Train show.
In a little bit.
It was just a guess. I don't know. I didn't know that was right.
Train show,
I mean, is it
Gerber.
right?
Well, considering I've written it down, yes, it's correct. I was in
didn't
Denver
see
for a
it.
train
We
show, which
have
I'll
a
talk
loser.
more about later.
Gerp
And
gerp.
I saw no engines except for Jeeps.
Hmm.
I saw on
U-boats?
that tank train included. I saw no Max, no SD, whatever the heck's they are, no.
SDs.
That
Whatever
new
they
fangled
are.
DS-44s or
contraptions.
C-44s.
They were all they were all little Jeeps.
What are you Jeepies?
There was even one high hood in Burlington Northern paint.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's actually kind of awesome. I like Burlington Northern.
yeah. They had a
I
neat
like
paint
the
scheme, and Santa Fe had a neat paint scheme. And then you put them together and you get green and orange, which is just bad.
I know.
The BNSF scheme is just terrible.
Well, actually,
Yeah, but-
I like the bright orange BNSF stuff.
Yeah,
the
I like
bright
that.
orange
Yeah, I
with
like
the
that.
black isn't as bad, especially when you have the yellow pinstripe on it. But the ones that I'm talking were their first phase with like just the flat orange, the dark like kind of pine tree green trim, and then
Yeah,
the
no,
yellow
it
pinstripe.
wasn't. They had to go
That
through
was
some refinement
terrible.
stages.
The big yellow block letters.
Yeah.
That was just bad.
BNSF.
Yeah, but
BNSF.
It's in the
BNSF.
they
BNSF.
did that. They did that
BNSF
with
in
the
Soviet
war.
Russia, BNSFU.
No, you're not getting the point of the Soviet Russia joke.
That was mine. I'll take responsibility for that one.
You could do SFBNU.
Except the
No, you couldn't really do that either. Milky.
Cool. So I went whale fanning. Woo. I saw
Surprise.
Amtrak Dash 8 number 503 on Amtrak Cascades number 503.
What is this?
What a shock.
Why was there a Dash 8 on an Amtrak train?
I know,
Amtrak's
but
Dash 8s, right?
on the
That's like seeing the Jeeps on the MBTA trains. It's not natural.
They have Jeeps?
Yeah, they
Or
have
the Amtrak Jeeps?
They have the GP4. No, on the MBTA.
Amtrak has
the-
Jeeps.
The narrow gauge, the
Not the
narrow gauge
narrow
standard
gauge.
gauge P40?
The
F40?
what?
What?
He means the thin F40.
Oh my gosh, Amtrak does have Jeeps. They're so cute.
Do they really?
Yes.
Yeah,
they're
they use
they're
them for
silver with black roofs. They only look like maintenance.
Yeah, no, they have yellow ones. They have ones with silver and blue. I see them
think
a
that's
lot.
Santa Fe.
No, silver and blue, like blue roofs.
Oh yeah, they're there. He's kind of
Yeah.
cute too. Oh, and there's a
You
slug
realize-
next to him.
Link me the Amtrak Jeeps.
They have they have like
here-
they have SW somethings too.
Here's the blue one with the slug next to it. Oh, it's by Swifty too. I know Swifty.
And
Just
on
a
that-
curious question. What at the words? Never mind.
What?
Why do you guys not have our Locomotive Versus at the bottom that we're
Discuss that later.
planning to do?
What?
Never mind. I didn't say anything.
Okay, I'm confused. Anyways, keep going.
So am I.
Good.
Okay, but anyways, speaking of Amtrak Cascades sucks at toggles. You know why?
Beep 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 beep.
They put too much stress on the Toggo passenger cars by running a Dash 8 and an F-59 on the same train.
And what happened? Telego cars go boom.
Did they come apart? I didn't know
No,
if the
it's
train
like-
was gonna fall apart or.
F-59. Oh, they're kind of cool too.
Yeah. But that's all of the welfare I have for Amtrak. But I did see a point in the Western switching move that had something a bit different on it. A Western Pacific boxcar with the Feathers logo still on it. And it wasn't graffiti. And
Wait,
I
what?
had complete. I saw an old Western Pacific boxcar
Cool.
that wasn't
Cool.
graffiti.
Cool.
And
Also
they
just
had
adding it in
the-
Denver.
I'm
That
working on
concludes
Adam.
rail fanning.
That concludes Milky's rail fanning.
Dun dun dun.
Julie's,
Oh,
do you have
Julie's.
any rail fanning?
Oh yeah. Let me. Just a
Oh, I
second.
forgot.
Also,
I
just real quick in
forgot
Denver,
about
I saw a
that
bunch of
Okay.
Confail auto carriers.
Confail.
Also, everybody else was quite fond of the nickname Confail.
Okay. Whatever. I don't care. Anyway, so I've jawed the general Union Pacific stuff. Maximum commuter rail. Hashtag I get stopped too much. And
Call you
hashtag
Utah
they're
a pussycat?
always late.
Homer.
And on another sad note,
Traingasm.
A BL2 too.
I'd like to go
It's a
over the
penalty.
sadness
Now we're
of
gonna watch
D&RGW narrow gauge C16 number 223.
We would put a link, but it got.
Because I've seen this. So
Hmm?
You've seen
I've
a
seen-
BLT.
No. He's talking about the What'd you say? The C16?
the C16 223.
We can't
Alright.
link the Traingasm video into the cargo. It got taken down.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really disappointing.
No, it can't have.
No,
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 it was
like the Ray
So-
William Johnson one, not the original one.
Oh.
The
Oh.
Z16 was built in December 1881.
Why is this rail fanning?
1881.
Because he saw it.
Ellis wouldn't let me go on.
It's
Let
not.
me go under assigned jurisdictions.
No,
No, it'd be current events.
Oh, it
Or
would?
interesting stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Moving on.
well,
Like
wait,
that
no.
last week.
I asked you if you'd seen it or not.
I have seen it.
Then it's
In
real
real life?
fanning.
No, not in the past.
But you've seen it in the past. It's not recent.
Oh. Well,
No, I saw it Monday. Last Monday.
Okay, well, that's rail fanning then.
Okay. Yeah.
Details are important.
trust my judgment, fool. I asked him these questions.
No, he did, and I was in the call.
Yes, he did. He asked me these questions. Anyways, the DRGW 223, basically an engine in ruins, not even anywhere near restorable. I also saw a SP 7457, which is an SD45, and SP 3769, which is a GP9 Milky, whatever the ending thing is. And then I also saw a few other things.
It's a cheapy 9. That's ours. It's a Wiebold.
It's another one.
Okay.
Moving on.
On that note, I think it's a note.
Is it a note?
It's a spark note.
It is the note.
Or is it a Lego set?
Oh, shut up.
Little Lego set. What if? Hang on, are we doing something Lego now? Oh, never
We
mind.
are?
You know what is doing
Oh my
something
gosh,
Lego?
we are.
We are
What is
doing
this?
something Lego.
What is this?
Mount Washington Cog.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing.
Wait, I want to click on this now. Okay. Click.
I am.
But
There is a Mount Washington Cog Lego set.
Oh.
They want to be.
Or they want there to be a Mount Washington Cog Lego set. This will be in the cargoes for you guys to go and
And
support the crap out of this Lego
I'm gonna
set
click on it.
so that we can have a
Like-
Mount Washington Cog.
Like, go in and create, 7 different
Support.
accounts for this and support it with all of the accounts.
Yes.
Mount Washington.
This is fantastic.
Wait,
Even
wait.
though,
Oh,
So
there's
does
a
it-
Stumper Valley Railroad
even though
too.
the engine is kind of ugly and kind of poorly built, actually.
Guys,
You're
I found the
poorly
Stumper
built.
Valley Railroad too.
The
Sumter.
Stumper Valley.
Sumter.
Sumter, whatever.
Not
Those
Stumper.
bastards that stripped the saddle tanks
Sumter.
off
There's also
Union
the
Pacific.
Sumter Valley. I also came and found the Sumter Valley Railroad. There it is. If you scroll down, you'll see Sumter Valley,
Stumper.
as well as GWR Class 14XX.
It's a
X.
1400 class. That's how the British read their numbers for whatever reason.
Oh, is that the little? Do they have that old one too?
What, Pepper says?
Is that what that old one with the vertical boilers?
Yeah.
called?
Yes.
Yes. No, you know what they should do? They should give you an add-on set for Jacob's Ladder.
That'd be perfect. Get the 45-degree track in there.
Yeah. Then you could just like wire tie it on.
Tick 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 tick.
Holy
It still needs a lot more supporters.
Yeah, but that's what this podcast is for.
Honestly, that's the best.
For the
That's
5 people that watch
best
it.
supported train project I've ever seen.
Now I'm just gonna go create my own Lego ID.
Like literally,
just
the
to-
train
just
the train
support them.
projects never get any support.
I thought you were going to say you were going to create a bunch of accounts and...
I am.
You need to.
I'm gonna go in and
The
do
Stumper
this.
Valley has 35.
Wait, so how many supporters does it need?
I think 10,000.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's getting there.
987.
It's almost a tenth of the way there.
Better than, not.
You can do it.
Better than not, or worse than not, considering not could also be.
NAUGHT.
Like negative not?
Not.
Like not?
If
Oh,
somebody's
no,
building a
positive.
610-6,
Oh no.
What?
it's actually got a lot of supporters.
Please tell me this sounds like a terrible idea.
It is a terrible idea. It looks terrible. Ooh, somebody built a Virginian Truckee.
Wait, where are you seeing
Is it number 26?
No.
Damn it.
Hasn't committed suicide.
Because I could have lit it on fire.
How are you,
Yeah, it's not
where
on
are you
fire.
finding this?
I just looked up
He's
train.
probably looking at it around that website. Anyways.
Oh my gosh, there's a Polar Express!
Uh-oh. Speaking of Polar Express, I've got 2 Polar Expresses locked in here. One of them is much less eventful than the other. So I'll just...
Because I meant to do that.
The White Pass and of course you did. White Pass and Yukon Santa Train. White Pass and Yukon is a new jurisdiction for me, otherwise known as a local stop, even though this is not local. But since when has that
It's
ever...
not local to anyone.
Since when has that ever stopped us? We don't really need to make sense, but White Pass and Yukon is doing its Santa Train, which is probably going to be something to behold because it's the White Pass and Yukon.
Wild West Cannon.
Other way more interesting Santa Train is the one at the main narrow gauge railroad museum, and the reason it's particularly interesting, it's got all the amenities of being the Polar Express, but it's also got the Forney. Even
and
though
Tuva gauge.
the Forney was put away for the season, and we thought it was going to be pretty much put away.
Yeah, I supported it.
Not for good, but for a long while, because its inspection certificate had run out, and we know
It takes a long time.
we know
to
what
get
that
this
means.
fixed.
Yeah.
But
It is an ugly Polar Express.
It was-
I'm sorry.
it
By
was
the way,
given
I think
a 30-day certificate by the FRA in order to run the Polar Express, which is going to be fantastic.
Just did a project on the FRA.
Wait, where's the White Pass in Yukon?
Alaska.
White Pass.
Oh yeah,
In the Yukon.
I
On
knew
White
that.
Pass.
knew that.
Anyways, so if you can get up to main see number 4 in action, it's probably going to be the last time in a while. They're working on number 7, but we don't know when she's going to be done. So that's a 244 as opposed to a 044. But for the record, but that's that. Moving on to whoever's next. Wiebold.
That would be me. And I touched on this last time, but now it is official. After Thanksgiving marked... What? Don't put the smiley face. That's very sad.
Oh yeah, that's where I wrote sad face.
That's a local
Aw.
struggle. Don't put happy face. The last train to Silverton ran yesterday from when we're filming this, which was Saturday the 28th?
Okay, well,
No, 29th.
Wait. Is it for the year or forever?
For the year.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure
Sorry.
there would be more panic if it was forever.
Yeah, if it was forever, I would not have kept quiet about it. It's just for the season they've stopped running to Silverton.
Oh well.
Where do they
Don't
run
put
to
happy
now?
face!
Just put a sad face.
Anyway, for TJ, we have meh.
Oh yes,
TJ, that's because you're a
Christmas
loser.
trains. Christmas trains
Loser.
at Strasbourg have started. I don't think Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington
Wiscasset?
has a
Wiscasset?
farming. Yeah, has a Christmas train. Nor does Cass, I don't think. So, boom, boom, there it is.
Boom, there it is.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh.
I'm still traumatized over that giant spider.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, Milky?
It's gonna haunt you now.
I'll come back to haunt you.
Is Milky here?
I don't think so.
He rode BRB.
Okay, well.
God damn it, Milky.
I'll cover his stuff.
We'll be back to him later.
Why did he break this here? Anyways, RPO car. Unless, well, Ogeles, anything near you that he doesn't cover?
UP Steam.
He covers that.
That's,
Good one.
General UP and BNSF.
He covers that.
And Penumbra.
What?
You're just reading his stuff. I said stuff near you that he doesn't cover.
Oh, stuff near me that he doesn't cover.
Good job, McFly.
I know, thank you.
What's the matter, McFly?
Think
On the
McFly!
note of the Heber Valley Railroad, don't say Heber Creeper. Why?
Herbert.
See, 618. I haven't heard of any updates with 618. Their consolidation, former OSL consolidation, they're restoring.
OSL?
Well, not restoring. They're going through a boiler replacement. I haven't heard any news. It was supposed to be done early this year, but it's still in the shops and
Recertifying.
recertifying. I think it is. Yeah. And I also took a ride on the Heber Valley. And
Do we care? I'm kidding.
yes.
Welcome to the podcast where we're supposed to care, TJ.
I do care.
And it wasn't as good as I expected, but it was still fun.
She said.
The snowmobile?
That's very unfortunate, Wiebold. I'm sorry.
That was perfectly clear. Stop putting happy face! Anyway, with that, and as the camera continues to snow, maybe it's time to get rid of that snow, Ellis.
Oh, we couldn't get rid of the friggin' snow, man. I mean...
Oh,
finally, finally
trying to
comes back.
segue into Snowverkill, but okay.
Well, I know, I was segueing into Snowverkill, and then Milky came back.
Yay.
Yuki came back to haunt you.
Actually, I could have segued just as well into the Rotaries documentary, but we'll get to that anyways.
right. Well then,
Bunches of
I have
oats.
7. 8 of steam bond tubes have cleaned up the tracks on the washed-out plug a few days ago, also, the scaffold was set up for tube and tube installation. They're putting stuff back together.
Good.
Locomotive Versus and
What's the matter, Wiebold?
Look.
He put a happy face. What else would be wrong?
Oh. I thought you were upset with 611. I was like, Wiebold.
No.
They're making progress.
My efforts have been foiled. Oh, let me just take a moment here to point out that friggin' TJ, after I made it into South Station, he texted me and goes, "Oh damn, it didn't work. Something along the lines of the bomb I put on the brakes didn't work." It's like, wow, TJ.
And then you said,
now the NSA is
then
your
you said,
friend.
Yeah, I was
what did you
thinking,
say now?
TJ, you're the reason that we don't, that we can't rail fan. That the
No,
police.
then what'd you say? No,
Oh, yeah.
you said after that. What did you say?
I replied, "Oh no, it totally did. We silver streaked it through the concourse."
Because you can do that at South Station.
You could try.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go really, really fast.
Challenge accepted.
Because it's a pretty big distance.
So, Oregon Rail Heritage Center ran their first holiday express line Swift 700.
SPMS 700?
Yep. UP Steam. Nah,
Yuppie!
no choo-choo.
I see UP.
Toxic 819. They got...
I always used to play that joke on my friends.
Because it's so funny, right, guys?
Well, I was a littler.
Wait, bumper stickers?
What?
What?
Milky.
What? Yeah, 819. New webs. They got a new web store, and they're selling bumper stickers.
Woo?
I want to train, well, nothing sticks to my bumper anyways, but
What bumper?
the bumper that didn't get damaged.
I was gonna
They're
say.
not replacing it. That's the one thing on your car they're not replacing.
No, I'm not
So the
replacing
bumper
most of
stickers
the
say, "What's
car.
your
I'm just
function?"
replacing the expensive bits. The expensive safety bits that decided to go off for no apparent reason.
TJ couldn't just replace the iron bar.
The iron bar is what the car was hewn from. Like, picture like a 20-foot long by 15-foot wide by 15-foot tall block of steel, and then they carve into that, and that's how you create a Volvo.
But they couldn't use curves, they just used angles.
They do
It's
now.
all straight.
Well, now they use curves, but
Now they've
before
learned
they
the
used
uses
angles.
of a belt sander.
Instead of just making obtuse angles.
At least it's not a lot of.
No.
Anyways.
Obtuse angles.
So, as Wiebold said, we couldn't get rid of the damn snow. Or, well, as I was saying. Because when I was preparing to come home, there was a Lakeshore Limited service disruption, which normally comes in the way of being late. But this was worse. This was trains canceled across the board because of the snowverkill.
Snowverkill.
Because
But
Buffalo...
I swear that sounds like.
What was that?
Why does he have the ability to edit the doc?
Who?
Was that?
Whoever keeps putting happy faces.
That's Ogeles.
No, I can't edit the doc.
Yeah,
you
you can. There's
did.
4
Clearly
people.
you can, because you keep putting happy faces.
I
You can
can't
actually-
edit the doc, I swear.
Wait, who's Christensen? I don't know which Nick is Nick.
Oh,
I'm Nick
that's Smokey.
W. Milky is Nick C.
Think,
Okay,
who
Milky,
doesn't
stop
like
putting
narrow
happy
gauge?
faces.
Who doesn't like narrow gauge Wiebold?
Anyways, the snowverkill, Buffalo, New York, got over 7 feet of snow in some places, which is absolutely ridiculous beyond belief.
Gee, you don't say.
People were trapped in their cars, buried underneath mountains of snow. And,
Oh.
like, they had to dig out. Some people didn't. Some
Did-
people died.
R.I.P.
Quite a few, actually. Like, a dozen. Which is pretty bad for, a snowstorm.
Much snow, such wow.
Yeah. But it would have been better if they had a rotary, and speaking of rotaries, I found a little documentary, part 1 of 2, about the rotaries over Donner Pass.
I bet Milky's seen it.
I
I
would figure quite a few people have seen it, because it's not exactly brand new, but I'm sitting here waiting for what's supposed to be part 2.
I think I've seen it as well.
It's very cool. It's kind of dramatized, which took me out of it a little bit, but it's cool at the very least. It's good.
That's the one that also talks about the Jordan the Spreaders, right?
Yeah. Well, it talks about a lot of things.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
A couple other things, couple track-related ones. One of them is Norfolk Southern. I believe this deal has gone through by now, but Norfolk Southern Corporation is buying, or has bought, the southern section of the Delaware and Hudson Main Line from Sunbury through Binghamton, through Scranton, Binghamton, and into Schenectady, which is right near me. So that
But I
they
thought
can...
you were near Albany.
Schenectady is near Albany.
Oh, I don't know New York, I'm sorry.
Dear.
Well, then why don't you trust me?
He's an engineer, Ogeles.
Trust me, I'm an engineer.
No, you're not.
Anyways,
He actually is.
I'm
Well,
closer to being an
okay.
engineer than you fools.
Actually,
Well, actually, I am an engineer. Not that
That's-
kind of engineer, but I am
I'm
technically an
on-
engineer of an actual moving train, so that
That
counts.
doesn't count, why?
I'm a model.
I also engineered that train,
Ooh.
so yeah, it does
Ooh,
count.
spooky, why?
Some-
Counts
Semantics.
twice. Double kill.
Snowverkill.
I knew that was coming. I just knew it.
2 barrels and 2 chains.
Anyways, this purchase allows Norfolk Southern to interact directly with Pan Am Southern, and to get closer to the oil, which is what they're trying to do. And
Why?
they've cut
Because then
down
there's just gonna be protesters.
over here. That we've kind of gotten over that. Every town goes through their phase, and then they get over it, and then people can, finally make money. environment, but money. You have to balance a fine line. Anyways, that would actually
Stop
be...
that sounding like Mr. Nature Man over there.
Well, I'm not.
Save the trees, man!
I'm not, or else I'd be, save the trees and no oil trains. I'm not going to be out there protesting. If I'm out there, I'm going to be like, what are you guys doing? This is a bad decision.
We're protesting oil trains.
Anyways.
They don't deserve to exist.
They've cut down... Norfolk Southern has cut down their, stretch of track that they run on Canadian Pacific down to about 20 miles with that purchase, instead of the hundreds. So they're obviously going to be paying less, which is going to be better for them. And better for commerce in general.
Commerce does everything for more.
But, I didn't actually get the chance to look through this other, article. It's just a big thing about Amtrak and politics, and it's fairly bipartisan, which is pretty good. Although there is some partisan in there, and it starts, why does Congressman make a lie about Amtrak, which is probably just to get you. But if you can get past the jabs, which are pretty much going to be part of any sort of political article, you learn quite a few things about how Amtrak works, and how passenger rail works, and how some people are sort of fighting this, I guess? I don't know.
What are they fighting?
Some people are fighting against Amtrak, some people are fighting against other private rail, I don't know why. This Congressman Mika in question is, if I remember correctly, she's a big proponent of the all-aboard Florida thing that I talked about a while back.
Oh, you mean where they're trying to get rails into Florida or whatever?
Well, yeah, the Florida East Coast.
It's like all aboard Hawaii, except the Hawaiians are all for it.
No, except that the all aboard Florida is actually kind of feasible and doesn't go nowhere. And also isn't the government pouring money somewhere. It's,
Money!
a private company doing the passenger thing.
Passenger.
What does Amtrak want Amtrak to be the sole passenger?
Well, no.
service in the United
They're
States?
complaining that Amtrak. They were complaining about Amtrak's monopoly and how apparently, and according to them at least, Amtrak is stopping other companies from coming in and doing intercity rail, which isn't true. Which is what the person writing the article goes ahead and points out. The reason,
Well, yeah, because it's not true.
it's not.
Because obviously, MBTA wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
It's mine! It's mine!
UTA wouldn't exist.
The Baltimore light rail system wouldn't exist. The New York City subways wouldn't exist.
Or, well, Long Island Railroad, at least.
Well, yeah.
But one of the things I learned about, one of the things that, this article taught me, which is one of many, which is why you should probably read this article, and don't get too upset. Anyways.
Good one.
So there's no monopoly at all, blah, blah, blah. One of the things was, I put this quote down somewhere, and now I can't find it. Oh, wait, I just found it. I just stumbled upon it. The fact is that when the railroads were first gaining their rights of way, the desire for passenger rail service was a major bargaining lever that they relied on heavily to get the routes they needed. If you guys think about the earlier railroads, a lot of them were pretty much passenger only, in some cases. And then you'd start adding on these freight services as they became available, because people were always there, and then you got these resources on the side. And then, of course, that focus eventually shifted, and I'm talking about way back. But, when railways attract that should be attracted, I guess, state and federal regulation of railroad behavior in response to frequent and substantial abuses of market power. I remember reading about this at some point. Maybe in economics, and I know I've probably picked up part of this from reading Clive Cussler in the Isaac Bell series with the way some of the employees were treated. Obligations. So basically, what it says is when the government stepped in to stop the railroad's abuses of market power, intercity passenger service was one of the things that these government mandates forced them to do. Because it became unprofitable, but these these laws that they had set down for the private companies said you still have to continue providing this passenger service. And the reason that passenger service then was probably so, even towards the end of it was so, I guess, fanciful, other than our own rose-colored goggles, is because they were doing their best to attract passengers to make them to lose as little money as possible. They probably weren't ever going to get, a green sum on their investment, but they want to get as many passengers as possible. But when Amtrak was formed, the private companies were relieved of this duty and thus shut down their inner-city rail services because they weren't making any money. And that's why...
Well, they're long-distance ones, at least.
Well, yeah, most of them.
I'm just looking at the article, and this thing is, GOP unveils plan to privatize Amtrak. That would be fantastic if you could get someone to do it.
And the whole thing is nobody's going to want to do it because nobody's going to make any money.
That's the point. Nobody's going to want to do it because it's not profitable, but if you could, I guarantee Amtrak would be like 80 times better.
Well, it would make sense if someone bought out the Northeast Corridor, because they would make money.
Because the Northeast Corridor is like the one thing you have that makes money.
That's like the one piece of it that keeps the whole thing afloat.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
you
actually,
there are
the thing that keeps the whole thing afloat is the government right now.
Yeah, and they themselves
more
are sinking.
lines are profitable than just the Northeast Corridor. Not many.
Not many, but most of them aren't. One of the things, because of the high fixed costs of running a railroad, because you have this equipment anyways, you're bound to make more money just by running more trains, although in a lot of cases that isn't feasible, not because of lack of equipment or manpower, but
lack of space.
But no, because, well, actually yes, in a way. Because the rails have... We all know we had this heyday of rail travel. And
of course.
We had, double track main lines all over the place.
This thing called the 20th century.
Yeah.
Well, and in the Northeast Corridor is mostly like 5-track, as it still is.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, 3 or 4 or 5 tracks in a lot of places, where you'd have significant capacity, and then Conrail came along and tore a lot of it up. Among other people, because there was a decline. There was the decline in service, but I just want to pin that on Conrail.
Penn Central.
Penn Central.
Yeah, Penn Central and then Conrail.
Getting nothing done.
Yeah. And then we're at this point where rail travel and rail commerce is kind of on the upswing again, but
we don't. That's
yeah. The oil protesters aren't just showing up for no reason. They're showing up because they're getting more oil trains. People like the car floats.
Because bringing oil on ships over from foreign powers is really starting to stink.
Especially when we're at war with some of those foreign powers.
Exactly.
And, also as the economy kind of kickstarts back up and people realize that trucks maybe aren't the most efficient way to do things. And, you can see the same thing in the car float business. People saying, this is what we talked about last Terminus, I believe, when I talked about the car floats. They're interested in expanding the port to handle more cars, to handle more rail cars, because people are finding that it's more profitable and makes more sense to ship by rail than it is to send the trucks through the city, where they'll get stuck in traffic and cause more traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, to respond to that, railroads need to rebuild the rail systems, and that's taking time and money, and
which is why it's not happening. Really.
Yeah. Which is why it is happening, but inexorably
not
slowly.
On a good scale. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not on a very big or very massive scale at all.
Hopefully it'll be exponential, though, once the first projects get all set.
It can only help. Although before they do that, they'll have to expand the solar roadways. So
solar vortex.
Don't even with the solar roadways.
Polar vortex.
Wait, they're building solar roadways?
No.
They built a solar bike path.
They built a solar bike path. It was still not a good idea, but...
Where did they do that?
Denmark.
Where does it go?
It's a bike path.
To where?
I don't know.
Other side of town.
Where do
The
bike
end of the
paths
bike
normally
path?
go?
So how does it solar?
It's solar because
It's made of solar panels.
Yes.
Oh. So
Are you
what
like?
does that have to do
Wait,
with
TJ. Are you like the one person that missed the whole solar roadways thing?
Yes.
Hang on.
God
I'll send
damn it.
him the video. Continue.
Okay. I'm just putting this in the cargoes in case there's another poor soul out there who has no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, here. Here,
Speaking
TJ,
of the
watch.
Speaking of the whole track thing, Eurasia Goes Maximum Railway is another thing that I wanted to cover.
Hurry it up a little.
Yeah, we'll get there. But, longest railway route in the world, connecting... What are these?
The Interpossible Railway?
Yiwu, Madrid. Yiwu is a not not quite coastal town, but it's a city
town.
towards the eastern coast of China. And
Why does it have to be
this
China?
route goes because China is making a lot of money right now.
Everything.
China also has broad gauge.
China also does have broad gauge.
And they had steam till 2010.
Sad day. Anyways.
Yeah. But now they're selling it and it's coming to America, so yay.
America.
Except that time where you showed me the picture of the Chinese engine running somewhere and you were like, no. I don't remember when you showed me.
That's probably at East Broadtop. They had a Chinese engine.
It's still it's good that they're coming over and there's still steam engines and all, but they're still not as good as American engines. They're just not.
Well,
But
aren't they American built though?
I don't know.
apparently
Like they're
I don't care. They're still not.
apparently
Lots
Yiwu is the world's biggest wholesale hub.
Yiwu,
Hub.
Yiwu.
I mean,
I thought
I
you
don't-
were gonna say
I-
something
I
different.
can't
solar
verify
freaking roadways.
I can't verify the legitimacy of that, but I can verify the fact that China launched this 82 wagon, they're called cars, cargo train on Tuesday, which will take 21 days to travel, not this Tuesday, 10,000 kilometers, which is 6,200 American miles, and pass through 6 other countries as it moves goods from the industrial city of Yiwu to the Spanish capital of Madrid. It is going across Europe and Asia.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it's going to Madrid and not a bigger like manufacturing or distribution hub. Madrid's not really that, you know.
Mm.
It's not the shopping capital of the world. It's not the commerce or industry capital of the world. It's not the engineering capital of the world. It's kind of just there.
Well, I suppose it's who they could strike a deal with. Anyways, I had a little thing about the Vermonter reroute, but I didn't have very much on it. The gist of it is the Vermonter, one of the Amtrak services, is going to be kind of pushed a little bit to the east, I think. It's going to be pushed in one direction.
So into the Atlantic Ocean.
No, not that far to the east. But it's going to be avoiding one of its current stops, and they're thinking of instating a new kind of commuter service that would come up at an angle through Connecticut to meet up with it. And I'll leave
The train
that.
travels at a 45-degree angle.
I'll leave
uses
that-
magnets.
I'll leave that there and get back to you guys on it later, so I can talk about it a little bit more in depth. The other thing, this is related to the Lakeshore Limited saga. Amtrak blames freight trains for long delays in Erie. We all know, we've already talked about the fact that Amtrak is treated like crap, but I would like to, oh my god, what is this? Hold on, something's not good here. Okay, you got... I'm friggin' having to answer questions to get to the site. Again, my point is, the Lakeshore Limited is late commonly, and I just wanted to point out that, the Lakeshore Limited's on-time percentage has gone down since we last talked about it. That was 22.1% in October now, and Train interference caused 57.3% of the Lakeshore Limited's delays in October. It linked 65.1% of these delays to Norfolk Southern, 20.3% to CSX, and 7.7% to Amtrak itself. If the Lakeshore Limited gets behind a slow freight, they can't pass it. What were you saying, Ogeles?
I feel fun. It's kind of funny in my opinion that NS has a higher percentage than CSX.
Well, there actually have to be trains on the track to delay something.
I know.
Yeah, if CSX falls off a bridge or something, that doesn't affect it.
Anyways, but you know what's worse? Okay, guys, take a guess at what the Capital Limited's on-time performance was for the third quarter.
Bad.
21.
Not 21.
Lower or higher?
Lower.
19?
Lower.
12.
15?
Lower.
1?
2.7%. The Capital Limited's on-time performance was 2.7% for the third quarter.
That's sad.
Oh, dear.
Jesus. If Amtrak could get damages if an investigation finds delays on the Capital Limited line were due to, quote, a host railroad's failure to provide preference to Amtrak. Essentially, being a dick. Of course, that also has to do with the thing we talked about with people need to rebuild so we can get some extra tracks so that these trains can go by each other.
Bye-bye!
And not get stuck. Anyways, talking about getting stuck.
Some people have stuff to the left of them, jokers to the right, and they get stuck in the middle and squish.
Again.
Again. So this was an accident that happened in... I haven't actually been able to find where. I think it was in Wisconsin.
Oh.
But there's tons of places reporting on it. One source said it's from Wisconsin that they're reporting on it. There's another thing here that says Washington. Another one said Colorado, which is why I even found it in the first place. But, excuse me, just of what happened was a very large freight train was backing out of a side track and backed into another train, and the other train ran head-on into the rear of this train that was backing up.
Oh, dear me.
And it was very bad. There's pictures here that the link will be in the cargoes, but very, 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 very bad. Lots of
carnage.
Solar?
Yeah.
Any death?
I don't know. An estimated 4,000 gallons of diesel fuel were spilled.
Whoop.
$3.1 million in damage.
And that's why people are protesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 1.1 million in track damage alone.
Do they know why they backed into the other train?
They're saying that human error causes about 39% of all train accidents in the U.S.
That's helpful.
So they're expecting that even though it's not necessarily likely according to probability and percentages, it's probably human error and misreading of the schedule.
All railroad accidents is kind of a broad spectrum. How about inter-train collisions? I feel like the percentage of human error would be much higher in that case.
Yeah, well, and there's also the fact of human error. You can't really dock down in this sense because literally every accident can be traced back to human error somewhere. I mean,
Yeah,
even if it was like a faulty switch thrown or a faulty signal given, the person coding it was the one that messed up.
Yeah.
It's still
unless something genuinely breaks on the rail.
Right, which is very. It's not
like
often,
a washout or something.
Right, and then your percentage of human error goes up by a lot. Or if with all that tracing and stuff, it goes from 39% to probably in the mid 80%, which
that's alright.
It then becomes likely. So big accident, lots of diesel fuel spilled. Thank you, Canadian National.
I would have. Wiebold, you could have said into the 70%, and then you would have had a great segue.
Oh, that's true. Oh well, I didn't. I was tapped out of the dock and then looked back. But anyway, Australia has boldly gone where we went 40 years ago. They have entered the preservation era. Not to say that they haven't been there before. They've restored a number of steam engines in Australia.
Oh, shut up.
This is just their.
Not you. Keep going.
This is just their most recent. 150-year-old engine, so quite old, like Civil War era, or American Civil War era.
Hmm.
Very, very old engine will be returning to Steam. So, yeah, that's
Ellis,
about it, really.
Just no. No songing. I mean, no, wow. No songing.
No songing.
Winner
No
of the year.
songing allowed.
No songing. Well, and again, we're on to Milky.
Whoa. I mean,
Who's
whoa.
not here again.
No, he's here.
No, he's here. He's here.
Sure?
The trolleys.
I got the fact that you spelled it. I copy and pasted that from their website. But I'll fix it. The
What?
toys at the Oregon Electric Railroad Museum are closed for the winter.
Well, that's disappointing.
And that's it.
Okay.
Well,
These.
You got
on
anything
that
interesting?
riveting conversation,
We
we move
spent.
on to...
No. What about Ogeles? You have anything?
No.
Okay. Wiebold!
In
Hit
that
it!
case, we move on to...
Bum. In one corner, we have the Denver and Rio Grande Western Mountain type.
Ding, 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 ding.
Which type are you going for?
I'm going to do the M-75 because it was the most recent and has the most data.
Alright. Hold on. 75. In the other corner, we have the Union Pacific Mountain type. Which kind?
MT2.
MT2.
I think they were a little bit different types of mountains, but they had the same wheel arrangement.
Well, okay, I'll ask the first question. What is, under white notation, what is your wheel type?
Wheel type. White notation. I'm looking.
It's a trick question. It's 482. Anyway, how many were produced?
I'm giving you a point
How
for
many
asking
were
a stupid question.
produced? Where's 220? I think.
Whoa.
No.
21.
For the
Till the frickin' roadways.
Freaking roadway.
Oh, for the MT2. I mean, I'm sorry. Change that to MT1s. I'm doing the MT1s. Sorry.
What's this different? Fine, go.
For the MT1s, there were 39, and I think there were 39 of all of them.
Oh.
At least for the
Well.
MT1s, there were 39.
You win because, like every other Denver and Rio Grande Western engine ever, seemingly, we had 10 of them. 0 through 9.
Do
We
they
had
do they
10 of
only
them.
know how to make like engines in sets of 10?
I don't know.
I don't think the D&RGW could count past 10.
I don't know. We have some that were produced in like groups of 20, but we never had a single class that was like, you know,
28.
we produced several hundred
21.
of these engines. Like in in England, they're talking about these statistics sometimes. They produced thousands and
Right.
thousands and thousands of these engines.
Like
voice.
RS3s
Well, my
or
time is
Jeeps.
up on this podcast.
Yeah, like
Goodbye,
these
everybody.
little steam engines that they
Bye,
all
TJ.
have. They're producing
Bye,
them by
TJ.
the thousands, and here we are. We can make 10.
Good God. At least I can cover TJ's stuff because
Rhode Island.
I was there.
Hmm.
Anyways, the important thing. What's the important thing that I normally ask? It's called factor of adhesion.
Factor of adhesion.
I just saw that.
Sure.
Oh, there it is.
Open 9,000.
I can't find mine.
It should be right below.
Would you like me to
track
find
effort.
it because I'm looking at it?
Oh, I found it. Found it.
I ask these questions even though I know the answers and the audience can look up the answers, but anyways, give me factor of adhesion and then give me boiler pressure for both of you.
3.88 and 210 psi.
So my factor of adhesion is 4.25, and my boiler pressure is 200 psi.
Ooh, I win by just a little bit.
Well, I win factor
Oh,
of adhesion, so
No, you don't. I win that one as well.
by
Wait,
a
is
tiny
four
bit.
better?
You're
It's-
0.25 off? No, you have to be closer to 4.
I'm 4.25.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm 3.88. I'm 0.12 off, and you're 0.25 off.
So it's surprisingly close, but the D&RGW guys apparently know what they're doing. Even though they don't build very many of them.
Yeah. They're like Rolexes. There's not very many of them, and they were probably really, really expensive. But they work pretty well.
I always thought it was just the higher it was, the better. Is it closest to 4?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
closest to 4. I feel like we go over that every single terminus.
We do.
we do. We do for the
Anyway, what is your tractive effort?
54,838 pounds.
Ooh, 74,930 pounds. What's your driver diameter?
73 inches.
Okay, you beat me by half a foot.
He's probably going for speed.
For speed!
I think these were designed more for high-speed freight as opposed to freight. I mean, longer,
As opposed
slower
to freight.
trains.
Okay.
High-speed freight as opposed to freight.
It is technically still freight, but what was your weight on drivers?
Let me find that. Let me confirm it.
Because that'll designate if you're for fast freight or not.
Weight on drivers, 233,306. No, 233,060 pounds.
Okay, I'm heavier. I'm 290.
So yeah,
500
we were probably designed for more fast freight.
Yeah. Does it have top speed on here?
They normally don't.
Okay, what's your tender capacity of water and coal?
Eating ability. I'm looking. Just a sec. Locomotive length and weight.
What type?
Tender capacity, oil/coal, and then tender water. My water capacity is 12,000 gallons, and my oil/coal capacity is 20 tons.
Okay, so I've got 15,000 gallons and 25 tons, so I'm a little bit heavier capacity.
Also, let me point out, Wiebold, remember how you were saying that, 2 of these classes are 3-foot gauge? And you were
they're
saying
not.
you don't believe it?
I don't.
One of the things that makes me reconsider is the 8 tons of coal and 59 pound per yard rail.
It can't be. There's no record of them. I have never heard of us having a narrow gauge mountain type.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, according to SteamLocomotive.com.
I'll ask around, but it's not.
Yeah, I know.
wait.
It's gotta be weird. I wonder where the things came from.
It's a
Then.
It's got to be a typo.
Also, go ahead and unleash your style points, Wiebold. What's special about these locomotives?
My engines have 3 pistons.
Let me
Count
bring
them.
out the model UP class.
We got all kinds of cool looks. We've got our feed water heaters kind of tucked under our chin. I found out we have 3 pistons to keep the timing better, so it won't lock up at high speeds. Ironically enough, considering yours is shaping up to be the faster one. At high speeds, we will not lock our drivers as easily because we have actual steam-driven timing gear.
That's cool.
Yeah. And also, our engines just look awesome. They look really good with the green boiler jacket. They're really cool looking, actually.
Break out the mountain class for, cool stuff. Well, the reason I have style points is because we had them in 2 schemes. We had them in the UP Gray, which isn't really cool. And we also had them in the UP Black, which isn't really cool. That doesn't give me many style points, I know.
No,
You have 2
really.
not-so-cool schemes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The green boiler's pretty good, though.
Well, I'm gonna cast
When
my
were
vote.
they built? Just one last question. When were they built?
1922.
I win by 3 years again, 1925.
Way to be those guys, D&RGW.
Yeah.
We're starting to be those guys. See, Milky, we're not that far apart after all.
Well, you took over those guys, so.
Oh, that's right. We did take over those guys.
You either die a hero, Wiebold.
It's all making sense now.
You didn't need to take over this.
You didn't need it. Never mind. Alright, so I'm gonna cast my favorite and vote of the D&RGW,
Whoop whoop.
and I have a feeling I know what Milky's gonna do because he's Milky.
I'm gonna cast my vote for the Southern Pacific Mountains because screw you.
They didn't have Southern... Wait, yes, they did.
They get cool as hell, so.
And D&RGW bought Southern Pacific, so therefore it's a vote for D&RGW.
No! But you peep on both of them, so ha!
Semantics.
No.
Command
Ellis,
structure.
you're voting for me because you peep out the both of them.
No.
Yes.
Fight.
They merged.
Let's just put
Let's
that
play the merger game.
Let's do the time warp again.
Pew pew.
Let's go see what the other Terminus guests think.
I'll see what the commenters think. You guys go ahead and post what you think in the comment section below, and we'll tally up the votes.
Comment for the UP, or you're gonna find your mother.
Comment for SP.
I'm joking. SP
Wow.
wasn't a candidate.
Ogeles.
And also, technically, since UP got both of the railroads, you're technically voting for mine.
No.
Time travel,
Yeah.
fool.
Yeah, no. And moving on.
Moving on to
Locomotive, no.
not Locomotive
we're-
Versus Model Railroading, which doesn't have a cool title, but Model Railroading is, I guess, is good enough.
Wait. 1 point.
What?
Why do I have 1 point?
I don't remember. Oh yeah, for asking Ogeles what the friggin' wheel arrangement was on your mountain
Oh.
bike.
But I did win, so
Although
shouldn't that be -1?
I probably,
Wait,
yeah, that's true.
why do I have one strike?
I don't remember, but you
For
probably should
answering
have
that
too.
question.
No. You should have a strike for not answering that question.
No,
But-
don't give me 2 strikes. No.
I'll be
get rid of my
nice
strike.
and not give you the second strike.
Oh,
you
yay.
should have known the answer off the top of your head, fool.
I was confused at what that was.
It was a joke.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, we already talked about Lee's Great Adventure, but part of that was Lee's farewell tour at the NEB&W, where I drove him up and down the layout, switched out some industries, just generally had fun, and screwed around with the organization that had taken place while I wasn't there. Because all the cars got sorted out into different yards so that we could count how many of each we had, so we could plan operating sessions. And he was done counting them, so he's like, alright, you can kind of screw these up now. And I was like, perfect. And so I just, ran back and forth and messed up the yards.
That must have been entertaining.
It was great. But, why does it say Lee Strikes Back? That's not something I can, I didn't write that. I'll be completely honest, I didn't write that. But, Lee returns to the P&W for his vacation, and he met someone very nice at the Bobbler Caboose, and, Lee and the Bobbler were pretty much inseparable, because they were both tiny.
Did they get melted together?
No, they just fit so well together.
Ugh.
Also, TJ was running his narrow gauge on standard gauge, again.
Wait, oh, right.
Because he has his porter.
Forgot you can,
and of course,
I forgot you can do that.
his porter is like twice the size of my engine. Like, the people wouldn't be able to fit into anything.
They'd have to, climb up the... his engineers ride Lee as a live steamer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was some fun stuff. We had some visitors at the P&W. We had, he still hasn't changed his number from 3 because his engine isn't unlettered, or his engine is unlettered, rather. So, I don't know. It could probably cause trouble in the future. Also, the turntable at St. Johnsbury is now recognized as a locomotive.
What?
Apparently. If you type in 0100 on the controller, you control the turntable in St. Johnsbury.
Huh.
I don't know
It's a
why they
clever
decided
way of
to.
working.
I don't know why they decided to go with that instead of the controller in front of the turntable. But I'm not going to argue with it. 'Cause,
I was gonna say, we just have a big crank.
So
yeah,
do we. Wait, we don't have
we had
to
one of
do-
those old Atlas style
I think
controllers
we have
plugged
one
into the
too.
wall.
Mm.
Anyways, meant to a merger?
Yes. So, before I get onto that, this week at the club we had a really nice family come in with some young kids who had been watching I Love Toy Trains and really wanted to see the club.
Yes.
And honestly, just a really nice family. I was decently surprised about how well conducted. The kids were everybody was very polite. They were very gracious, very interested in everything that everybody had to say. They were all really nice, kept their hands off of everything except for the 3-year-old. But you can't expect that.
You can't stop a 3-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
3-year-old. There's this
I've
little
learned that because
there's
I
this
have
shiny silver snake going by at scale 80 miles an hour. So
Wow.
Back to the
can't really
Future.
stop him. But also, MRC plus Model Power plus Mantua merger, which struck me at first as a very odd combination because Model Power and Mantua are both famously bad.
No, they
Mantua is what evolved from Tycho, and Model Power also evolved from Tycho, and they were both bad. I'm not a rivet counter, but Mantua engines just don't look right. They're kind of goofy looking for anybody that's seen them, and that kind of stands for Model Power too.
Look afraid.
What was that?
Yeah.
Who's giggling? Who was it? It sounded
said-
like John.
I said like your face. Yeah, that was me.
Oh.
No, John is not suddenly here, but he would totally say that.
I was gonna say it really confused me.
So, wait, hold on, Wiebold. So you're telling me, John. Whenever
What?
John goes, so you're telling me, you know you're in for it.
Oh. But anyway, Model Power and Mantua, I could even see them merging. But with MRC is the producer of one of the better DCC systems out there and some really good stock and engines and scenery stuff. Why are they merging?
Maybe so they can teach Model Power and Mantua to not be terrible.
Well, why did Sun Pacific and Rio Grande move?
I don't know.
Same deal.
Because it was a financial interest, but these guys have supported themselves just fine. MRC has done perfectly well, and Mantua, I assume, is doing fine. Everybody needs something to scrap, but it's Model Power are the guys, for those of you that don't know, Model Power are the guys that make the really, really cheap train sets that you get, not even the Bachmann ones, but the really, really cheap ones.
Don't knock Bachmann.
I'm not mocking Bachmann. I'm a big Bachmann fan, but the ones below the Bachmann sets,
I'm joking.
the really, really cheeseball ones that give you the 50 plastic power lines and the little plastic trees as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The really, really kind of cheesy ones.
Mm-hmm.
And Mantua produces kind of really just kind of goofy looking engines. They're not really that bad per se, although I did have a story on here a while ago. The Gay Pride engine is Mantua. Not that that's a bad thing. It just was, with the whistle that everybody remembers. But yeah.
By the way, for the record, TJ's locomotive had a whistle that sounded sort of like that. He had multiple whistles and he could change between them, and that was one of them.
Yeah, but this one, it was the quality of the recording too. It was all staticky. It was just a bad whistle and a bad recording too. But
I would just like to point out that in the vein of goofy looking engines, for those of you that want to look at the video right now, for the viewers that want to look at the video, I'm just showing a little steam engine on steroids here.
a little.
Hold on, I'll post it to you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, or at least Wiebold's seen it.
Yeah.
What is it?
The steam engine on steroids.
Oh, is this the? Why are you showing him that?
Because you said odd looking engine, so I thought of this thing.
Yeah, but actually look up a Mantua. It makes me laugh every time I see it.
Do you even live?
Actually look up a Mantua engine. The Mantua Mogul, compared to Lee, is just.
It's the pimp.
It's kind of just.
It's the pimp GW orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking up images of it. Anyways, continue. Oh my god. What the hell is this?
That's not the bad one. The one I'm looking at actually is not bad. Here, this is the one I'm talking about.
Alright, link me.
There's a tank engine version of it, which is even worse. They're just not.
What
they
the-
don't.
What?
Yeah, they just don't quite
Because of
look
this.
right. They're just.
No, this thing looks cool if it didn't look like crap.
That's a bit redundant. Well,
No,
necessarily.
I mean, if it had sharp edges and that, I could totally see an engine like this looking really cool.
But that's the trouble with them. They're famous for having just bad, their paint always rubs off in the box. The edges are always bent. The light bulb sticks out of the headlight casing, which that's the one part of me that's rivet counter that really bugs me is that, and when you can see the gearboxes between the wheels.
Oh.
When you can see the gears of the engine and when you can see the motor and it's not hidden at all, it just strikes me as lazy and it's annoying.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But I've got more stuff to rant about, but in the interest of sparing the viewers from my awful, awful grating voice and allow me to get a glass of water.
Yeah, you sound terrible.
So I don't start scratching up even more.
Hey, well, you're not as bad as I was.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
But, Milky, why don't you take over for a little bit?
Yeah. Well, he could be worse. He could be the wholly unfinished layout in a new village.
He could what?
He could be the wholly unfinished layout of the Quebec Society of Model Engineers.
Well, every layout's unfinished.
Yeah, but
You
this
can never
one...
finish a model railroad.
Yeah, you just need to add more stuff.
Like, more stuff.
Yeah, but this one has like half of the scenery done and most of the track work actually. But they're still working on quite a bit. But when I was there yesterday, things ran smooth. Maybe one derailment happened.
I'm gonna look up Corvallis Society of
pretty
Model
amazing.
Railroaders now.
The website's very outdated. So, like, by a few years.
Oh.
So, I wouldn't
Right.
recommend the website. But just mean they're doing something. Besides just one.
Not much.
Besides just
Trust
one.
them. They're an engineer.
Well,
They're an
actually,
engineer, yes. Put them together
Yes,
and you get
singular.
Oh.
Plural to singular, yes.
Trusty, you're an engineer.
Actually, they're model
one. Engineer
engineers.
you are.
Engineer you are.
No.
And I got an application for their model railroad, so
Oh,
hopefully I can do that.
Ah.
good job.
Congratulations, Milky.
You might have something to do instead of
And then,
nothing.
and then every Wednesday night, once
Bleh.
them work.
So, Mookie, are you going to join that Model Railroad Club?
Yes.
Do you have to apply, or do you just join, like mine?
You have to apply. I actually have the form right in front of me. I should probably fill out while we're doing that.
Maybe if your club had an application process, it wouldn't be filled with terrible people or jillies.
Also,
Yeah.
I love how Providence Northern, they're actually rejecting members, whereas my club actually changed the bylaws so that I could be part of it.
Well, they were trying to search for a loophole in the bylaws to give me a key for a long time, because I would get there early and I couldn't get into the building.
Oh.
And they trusted me and they trusted TJ, and they were like, "Yeah, this. We looked through the bylaws. We can't give you a key. You're just junior members. We can't give you a key fob. Sorry."
Yeah, technically I shouldn't even be part. We don't have junior members. We have members that are older than 18. And no one else.
Well, my club's the
bylaws.
same way, except for if you're under 18, you have to be sponsored by someone. Fortunately for me, I know someone that's a part of the club.
He's got contacts.
Yeah.
And on the note of my Model Railroad Club, since a few years back, we had some incident where some kid joined without his parent, and he got lost at a train show, and he couldn't
Died
find his dad, and he got reunited, but he had to stay in the town.
in the afterlife.
No. But now we have junior members, but each junior member has to be accompanied, like has to have a parent or a grandparent or something like
Just having a parent
with them, and they have to go to a meeting. If they're going to go to a meeting, they have to have an adult that says, "Hey, I'm with this kid."
Well, it's actually a fairly decent segue about accompaniment and all that, because I went with the club this past weekend, to the Rocky Mountain Toy Train Show in beautiful Denver, Colorado.
Huh.
I think I've talked about this show before. I think I've talked about the show before, but it's actually grown quite a bit in the past couple of years. There's a lot of layouts up there, lots and lots and lots of vendors, a few good clinics that I went and saw, one on DCC and one on detailing Denver and Rio Grande Western diesels.
What?
What?
I'm confused. Anyways,
So
continue.
Just good, really good show that's grown quite a bit in the past couple of years, and I went up with some other guys from the train club. I had a great time, and I picked up a new locomotive, which is an HON3 C19.
Adorable.
It is absolutely adorable, and my first thought when I took it out of the box was I checked the side to make sure it was not N scale. It is tiny.
Oh, seriously?
It's so cute. I can't even describe how it's the engine and tender is about the same length and shorter than an RS3. And it's a 280. It's tiny.
So, it's just making me think of a stubby Lee.
Kind of. Let me see if I can get a picture of it beside another HO gauge engine. It's just this little engine, and it's so cute, but it's from Blackstone, and it actually came pre-weathered, and it is really, really nice. I really, really like it.
Well.
But, yeah. That's about that. So, Milky.
Wait, what?
Continue with whatever you had left.
I really didn't have anything.
So on to me, yay! I have really
Jellish with the terrible club.
I have no new news from that club.
Because
Just
he was
good news
thrown
that
out.
And on the note of my model railroad, haven't actually started. I am planning to get furniture moved out of the room sometime in February, and then we're going to go to... And then I'm just going to start designing now. And the reason I chose the Mountain Class series was because I got a Broadway Limited MT-73, number 7036, sound DC sheets, amazing. I would encourage you to go get it. And basically, I have my model railroading stuff like all set up because my grandpa works at a train store, right? He makes me work for the things I get, and I don't have to pay anything from my pocket.
You're
That
despicable.
I just work for him, and then he gets me stuff.
He's got
Like this Mountain
contacts.
Class.
Yeah, you've got like the arrangement worked out.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll go send my Mountain Class to you from
Yes, send it to me.
I was
Okay.
like, did you mean something else by that? Because that might have come out slightly wrong.
We also at the next meeting we're going to talk about a proposed train show in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I love that. I loved Cheyenne when I got to go there for one train show a few years back. I loved it. So
As long as you don't accidentally
really
go
wanna
to
go.
Cheyenne Mountain.
They have a zoo on Cheyenne Mountain. The human head weighs 8 pounds. And moving on.
What? Anyways.
That's random trivial knowledge that always gets thrown in whenever people are just throwing out random facts.
Okay, well. Moving on to V-Scale.
But what about...
What about what?
Never mind.
What?
We don't have anything
Never mind.
for it.
Oh yeah, no, Well, I am going to, because it's the end of the month, and Wiebold, you said Tuesday through Saturday, right?
Yes.
I'll go and do that right when we get done, so that I don't lose another $5.
Oh, and on the note of the MT-73, they're out of stock. But on the Mountain Class I
Wait,
have, they're out of
do you
stock.
need to put in what days you'll be at the meet? Huh, I didn't realize that.
What, did you not?
Okay, well in that case I have to do that tonight as well.
Yeah, go do that.
I
We
will
can
as soon
do
as
it
we get done.
together.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
Well, actually, if...
Anyway, for anybody who doesn't know is Train Mountain stuff.
I'll talk to you about that.
I'll talk to you about that.
Don't know when I'm gonna be there.
I'll
but
talk
I will
to you
be
that.
Don't talk
I think
back.
we're gonna be there for like 4 days, 3 or 4 days, maybe
Don't miss
5.
the Saturday. Anyways.
I'm gonna
The
be there
Saturday's-
Saturday.
Saturday's the big parade.
Because it's entirely
Yeah, I'm gonna be
possible...
there Saturday.
If we're going to be there on the same day, we might... I don't know, never mind. Moving on. Liable, I'll talk to you about that afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
Don't-
We'll discuss more about that later.
don't let me
because
wander
that's
off.
another beehive to kick.
I'll
Yeah.
be there in Jose.
Yeah, because we have a chat
Okay.
for that, actually, which everybody here is in, except TJ. Because
TJ.
boo TJ.
Poor TJ.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Gmod train building.
big head-on with new Mikado, bigger head-on with newer Mikado?
No, it's actually not newer Mikado. It's the same new Mikado. I don't know who put newer. But I finished this past week, just the day before Thanksgiving, I think. I completed wiring up the code for a new Mikado locomotive with Vanderbilt tender and all the flashy stuff that I really like on my engines. And I decided to test it out. And I blame this on the map maker, not myself. I blame this on somebody else. But I was taking a fast freight, and FCNN, for anybody who doesn't know, it's double-tracked mainline, and you always run on the right-hand side.
Or else.
Yeah.
And so I'm running down the right-hand side going probably pretty close to 60 or 70 miles an hour. I'm moving quick. Yeah, scale, but I'm
Isn't
moving
it pretty
really
much real
quick.
scale?
I don't know what... I don't know, is it scale or is it just...
I don't know.
Whatever, go on.
In-game, I'm going probably 60 or 70 miles an hour. And anyway, there's a junction ahead, and I'm supposed to have the track set to forward so that I can just keep going through. But instead, the track has changed, and I blame this on the mapmaker because apparently the right-hand track switches and goes over to the left-hand track. So on this junction, so I suddenly go off of the main line, and I'm on the left-hand track of this little branch line in a station. And then there's Norfolk Southern Freight right in front of me.
Where is this?
That was not the
I
one
there
you
for
saw.
that?
That was not the one you saw. The next one was the bigger head-on was the one you saw.
Oh no.
The bigger head-on, I was doing probably the same speed this time with a passenger train going through a tunnel, and I zip around a curve in the tunnel, and there's a BNSF freight. That time I was on the right track. He was just on the wrong track. And Kapuya.
Kapuya.
That was an even bigger accident.
Bigger squish.
It went everywhere and blocked off the entire entrance to the tunnel and both tracks in the tunnel.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing about Gmod. It has decent collision physics.
What about the one in the station where it went kaboom?
Decent collision physics, you say, because the way my engine's built, the tender went through the boiler.
Still better than trains where everything goes through everything else.
Yeah, that's true. They at least hit each other initially. But, yeah. Oh, and then Ogeles brought that other one up. I was coming into a station. This time I was on the wrong tracks. It's my fault.
I was actually
the coaches, because the bogies are set back a ways, the coaches kind of hang over the side of the track when they go along.
Oh.
And this station is right after a curve.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going around the curve, and the cars are kind of overhanging, and as I come into this station, if I'm on the right-hand track, it's okay, but the left-hand track, the overhang snags on the platform, and Big Kapuya happened. So I'm not going to describe that one because I can't even remember.
Big Kapuya happened.
Yeah, everything went through everything. There were coaches telescoped and jackknifed.
People
and a whole
died.
number of other technical terms, yeah. Luckily, no one was hurt. Yeah, no.
Nobody was even on the train. I was going to get on at that next station.
And then you turn around, we're like, oh, heck no.
Well, now I can't get on it.
Yeah, well, I think I could, but it's on fire. So, yeah. Anyway, Milky, you also have something?
Yeah.
I also have something. But...
Is it a box cab, or is it a steeple cab?
No, it's a 44 tonner with the cab in the middle. I started building one in Gary's mods. And
of course, it's going to be thruster built, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. But this time I'm going to hide the thrusters inside the body. So.
Oh my.
So they're not noticeable.
Chuckles.
But, yeah. And once I'm done with that, it's going to receive a nice paint job of orange for the Fort Town and Pacific Railroad.
Orange. Did you actually build it, or did you just use a prop?
No, I'm actually building it.
Nice. Congratulations.
I also have some stuff I'd like to announce.
Uh-oh.
In Gmod, I am planning to start, get this, an F40. I want to build one. I don't know why.
Machine.
Do it justice.
I finish the Bud car, and I am also in need of an E2 chip.
Paint it in the MBTA scheme.
Okay. I'm in need of an E2 chip as well, so if any of you in the comments have one, I'd just get in contact with me.
I actually also need a Diesel E2 chip.
Yeah, I need a Diesel E2 chip as well.
I think
For a Bud car as well as a F40.
Unholy metal machine.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm also building a C19 in narrow gauge, which was actually before I knew I was going to buy the one at the show. So,
Oh, wow.
happy coincidences.
The universe is aligning
It is.
for the C-19s.
For the C19s, that is. Unfortunately, the one I have it came with a little, it's fancy when it comes with a pamphlet of that locomotive and specifics history.
Oh,
Apparently, it was like a Class 70. It was called Quartz Creek. It was converted to standard gauge and then back to narrow gauge.
Huh.
And was then renumbered to 345, I think it was. It's either 345 or 354. I always mix it up. Actually sent the picture here just a second ago. It is number 345. Okay, whoops. Wouldn't have guessed that one. Anyway, number 345, it was renumbered to that and then scrapped in 1951.
Oh,
So-
poor guy.
Universe didn't quite align soon enough.
It's
Well-
aligning for its resurrection in Gmod.
Yes. And in HON3.
Anyways, I don't suppose I have anything real significant to talk about in the zombie train and things like that. Got some hands-on looks at the areas that the Providence Northern would be going through when I was in Late Shore Limited. Early Shore Limited, I mean. Somebody pointed out that I don't do as much work in Train Fever per episode as I do in Locomotion, and I had to reply the fact that in Locomotion there comes a point where you basically have infinite amounts of cash. In Train Fever that point doesn't really occur because they're smart and don't let you have infinite amounts of cash. And on the Zombie Train standpoint, I'll be working on a new intro which should be coming out on Thursday. I need to get cracking. But I found the song.
the Kraken.
I found the song at least. I'll cover for TJ because he's not here. He is despicable by proxy because he gave his route to Jader to work on
texturing.
for scenicking and texturing.
Which, also by extension, wouldn't that make him despicable?
Well, yeah, it's despicable by proxy.
Because he's not just giving it to Jader, that's not making it. It's the decision of letting someone else do the work for you on your route. That's just...
Oh.
You don't do that. Even though there's numbers 1 through 5 that have mysteriously disappeared that did work on the DV and ARR.
No, they were all part of a whole.
Yeah, they weren't despicable. They were... We all have them, don't we?
We all do.
But, Blue Comet.
Yep. I got it for my birthday for Trent's Trobe. I was so happy to get it. I used it on in Chief Skill, so that's why I got it instead of other DLC at the T1. So I was kind of partial towards it, but
Beep beep.
it's a good DLC, but they could have done more with it. Like engine-wise. They could have each made an attempt to add a custom whistle, or a custom bell, or custom sounds, even. But I'm not complaining. The passenger cars have very nice interiors.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, passenger cars with interiors are just nice in general. You don't get those all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when you don't, you ride down hills in gondolas with interiors.
You mean ore cars?
Yeah.
And then the bigger boogie gets you.
Yep. Then the bigger boogeyman sneaks up behind you.
And goes, roar, I am Boogie.
Rower.
But, anything else, Milky?
Yeah, I would unlock the sun, got to Webmans, which is about the halfway point of the loot. Or east the main line going east to Idaho. And I've been working on new mall railroad that's switching it out. Pretty much there's one town and one military base. Yep, switched out the military base.
With tanks.
Ooh.
I don't have any tanks.
Get some tanks.
But I do have a space shuttle.
More space shuttles are required.
And my Steam on the Mojave session and is finished and being uploaded to the download station as we speak.
Good.
And for my B scale, I have the Utah and Midland Iron Route coming along. Awesome. But this eye-portaling route is going to be This iron route is going to be eye-portal to Jader's Ohio Central route because I have iron, he does not. He needs iron. Boom, problem solved. Anyways, I got this morning the Eanesville Western Railway, Albion Railroad, and it is awesome. You should go get it. It's checkrail.com. Awesome. I also got the Reagan Northern, and the TVAR is working awesome for me.
Did you get the track?
No, the 2-foot gauge track isn't working still, but...
Then it's not working awesome.
Okay, and I also got more jointed rail pay. Wow.
Oh dear.
I only have SD70Ms and C44s and SW1500s and cool stuff.
Foamer.
The C40 it was working at first, and then it decided to just I don't like working for you anymore. And decided not to work.
I was there when it happened too. I was zapping now.
Well, if that is all,
yeah.
TJ would be the first one to give his little thing to say goodbye, but he's dead. So
he left. He had to go.
As you said, dead. I got killed in Frogger.
Good. And remember to shut up with your face until I call us all to say goodbye. After you say something, because that is the point of termination. You no longer get to speak. Yeah. But Ogeles, you're going next.
MT-73 is awesome! Woo!
Let me get that down. No big surprise there. Milky.
My main wall what?
Oh, you got a lol what? Let's see what this is.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that one thing called the Fontaine Fiasco, but it's American.
Fontaine was American.
Fiasco was American.
Oh, crap.
Anyways.
Close enough.
That's posted. Wiebold.
I'd just like to give a tribute to George Carlin, the brilliant comedian and wonderful Mr. Conductor. Quick, do ye?
George Carlin. And all I have to say is go see Interstellar, because I saw it last night, and holy cow, that was pretty fantastic. It's worth the 3 hours. But I think that's about it this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and otherwise known as a podcast also. And everybody say bye.
Bye.
Hasta la vista.